In traditional music history courses, two competing learning objectives dominate. Students are expected to become literate in the Western art music repertory, which means recognizing and communicating intelligently about dozens of pieces composed over the last 1,000 years. And students are expected to connect the sounds of music history with their religious, political, economic, and sociological contexts. Many students find the abundance of pieces, dates, facts, and concepts overwhelming, and to add insult to injury, there is little research-based evidence that this model of course design results in satisfactory retention or transfer. I'm Valerie Wilk, a senior music and psychology major here at St. Olaf.
And I'm Louis Epstein, assistant professor of music. With support from the Magnus the Good Fund, and in collaboration with Professor Dick Brown's Hyperkick team, we've been developing an online learning app in the form of a flashcard-based game that helps students memorize and apply music historical information. At the same time, the game allows us to measure and analyze student learning. We've cleverly titled our tool the Music History Game, and we're excited to share some of our research with you here.
The game is listening-based, meaning each question can only be answered by listening to an associated sound file. When students get a few questions right, they receive harder questions. And if they get questions wrong, the questions get easier again. With the help of a few other students, we've written hundreds of questions in order to give students plenty of practice working with course material they encounter in readings and in class.
We designed the game this way because quizzes and tests have been shown to increase learning, even if they often seem scary and insurmountable to students. Being asked to retrieve previously learned information takes more cognitive effort than simply rereading or studying material, which helps solidify the information in the brain. This has been labeled the testing effect in several psychological studies. By creating the music history game, we are using this effect to the advantage of the students and their learning.
While our work is informed by scholarship on the pedagogical benefits of gaming and on the relationship between memory and learning, we are particularly interested in the literature on metacognition and test questions. The articles and books I read, along with information from psychology classes at St. Olaf, kept bringing me to the same conclusion. Recall questions are much more conducive to learning than multiple choice. This knowledge led us to revamp many game questions so that the students would be asked to enter an answer by typing rather than through multiple choice. The multiple choice questions we did include were modified to make them less tricky, more thought-provoking, and therefore more effective as learning tools.
With help from students in the Center for Interdisciplinary Research, we used the game to run an experiment that tested whether students' metacognition improved as they practiced reflecting on their answers to a selection of game questions. Metacognition refers to having active control over one's cognition and learning. In a classroom or testing environment, this could include techniques like goal setting, self-regulation, and assessment. In the game, we included metacognitive follow-up questions to assess the ways in which students use these techniques when studying music history, with the hope that our findings could influence the way students learn in the future.
While the data on students' metacognitive growth was inconclusive, other data we gathered on students' gameplay habits and on question difficulty have proven helpful to Professor Epstein. And the qualitative data we've collected demonstrates that students find the game to be an enormously helpful study aid, one that reduces stress and even provides a bit of comic relief in the form of rewards that pop up when you beat a level.
How do? Welcome to my shop. Let me cut your mop. Let me shave your crop.
Our experience developing the music history game and using it to analyze student learning confirms that games are a promising, underutilized tool in the music historian's pedagogical repertory. We look forward to pursuing further game-enabled research in the years to come.